Epcot was the second theme park built at Walt Disney World. This park opened with a focus on technology and world cultures, and while that's still prevalent, recent additions have placed a greater emphasis on Disney characters and IPs. And this park has some great attractions, so in this video I will rank the top 10 rides and shows at this park. Before starting the countdown, I want to note that this list will include a few defunct attractions I've experienced through the years. Starting this list at number 10 is Gran Fiesta Tour. This boat ride is located in the Mexico Pavilion. A lot of the ride does admittedly feel tacky as you have a series of screens with cartoon versions of the three caballeros overlaid over real-life Mexican landmarks. But the final animatronics look good, and it's nice how Donald Duck finally got his own dark ride after all these years. Up next would have been Ellen's Energy Adventure. This was once one of the longest rides in the world, clocking in at roughly 45 minutes in duration. The concept was downright wacky how Ellen DeGeneres ends up on an energy-themed version of Jeopardy! The ride was a slow-moving one, and there was some cool dinosaur animatronics, but a lot of the ride depended upon how much you enjoy Ellen's humor. Number 9. Harmonious. Debuting for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, this nighttime spectacular is a visually pleasing show. The mix of pyrotechnics, water, and projections is absolute eye candy. The music is good too, drawing from a lot of the recent Disney animated films. I didn't quite get the same emotional attachment to the show as its predecessor, but it's still fun. Up next would have been Maelstrom. This Norwegian boat ride featured the exact same layout as Frozen, just replaced Anna, Elsa, and Olaf with Vikings, animals, and trolls. The two-drop sequences were well executed, but the other scenes did feel a bit dated by the attraction's end. Number 8. Spaceship Earth. Located in the park's iconic geodesic dome, this lengthy dark ride covers the advances in human communication. It's not the most exciting premise, but the scenes are well done and detailed. Then the build-up and reveal of Earth at the top is stunning. The return back down adds in some laughs with an interactive cartoon showing you a goofy version of your future. Up next would have been Illuminations. This show was beloved and for good reason. It was a beautiful show, all about unity. The way the show played out was perfect, with the pyrotechnics to engage you at the start. Then the music and lighting choices over the rest of the show really captured your emotions. Number 7. Mission Space. This is a polarizing attraction. On one hand, the orange side is one of the most intense attractions at Walt Disney World. The centrifuge exerts some impressive positive G's and riders, particularly during the launch sequence. It is neat how you ride in intimate capsules, and I like the ride's story, but I do have two gripes. One, I wish you had more control over the experience like Smuggler's Run. If you fail to complete a command, it's done automatically. Two, and this is the bigger one, the video quality just isn't all that good to me. This can make me feel a bit queasy when paired with those aforementioned G's. Up next would have been Sum of All Thrills. This Kuga robot arm was in the Innovations Pavilion for a few years, and it was capable of providing a very intense ride. Due to a lack of footage I could use of this version, I'm showing a similar ride on screen in Ice Pilot School at Legoland Billund. Guests could program a series of elements for their arm to perform. It was pretty neat. You could create a milder experience, or you could do what I did and create a ride with some inversions. Sum of All Thrills placed a computer screen right in front of guests to simulate being on a coaster, but the trade-off is that the ride's arm motions were noticeably slower in this one compared to the one I'm showing on screen. Number 6. Journey into Imagination. Where you place this ride depends how much you like Figment, and I really like the character. He exudes a childlike joy start to finish. Some of the effects are pretty neat too, most notably the disappearing butterfly and the bombastic, over-the-top finale. This ranking reflects the current version. I did experience the original Journey to Imagination with Dreamfinder, and the much-hated Journey into Your Imagination, but I was a kid and don't have strong recollections of those versions. Number 5. Soarin. One of the oldest flying theaters, it's still among the best. This ride is a beautiful aerial journey past famous landmarks. The visuals are crisp, and you pass some truly amazing landmarks like the Great Wall of China and the Eiffel Tower. Then those sights are paired with the perfect soundtrack. Number 4. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This trackless dark ride was ported over from the Paris resort, and it's a really nice fit in World Showcase. The ride creatively uses giant screens in 3D to make you feel small like a rat. The visuals are chaotic, which creates a sense of danger as you move through the kitchen and realize all the dangers a rat would face. I prefer attractions with physical animatronics, but this ride does at least have some detail in between screens, and the motion is perfectly synchronized throughout the experience. Number 3. Frozen Ever After. This boat ride is pure fun. The ride features some of Disney's best animatronics. The ones for Olaf are particularly impressive. Then the ride has some awesome use of music, especially if you like the soundtrack of the original Frozen. I really like the sequence with Let It Go that includes the wonderful Elsa animatronic and that backwards drop. Then the final plunge features a giant snowman turning towards you and blowing smoke in your face. It's a fantastic visual. Neither drop is too wild, they're more about the theatrics. The ride is really well done, and it beats a lot of the older Disney dark rides without a doubt. Number 2. Test Track. This dark ride is a nice mix of theming and thrills. The indoor section is this highly stylized, futuristic vibe as you progress through a series of tests. And some of these are accompanied by some exciting parts. The braking sequence has some fun accelerations reminiscent of a coaster launch, and the handling section has some wild turns. Then the high-speed outdoor finale is the ride's signature moment. The sense of speed as you fly around that final turn is pure bliss. I have an entire review on this attraction, but it was Epcot's best thrill ride for many years. And coming in at number 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It took Epcot nearly 4 decades to finally get a roller coaster, but their first one may be the best coaster at the resort. Guardians is spectacular. After a series of pre-shows that immerse you into the experience, you board a prototype spinning coaster ride system from Vekoma. These ones don't spin freely, rather they rotate at predetermined points to emphasize certain ride or story elements. The ride is pure chaos and fun. I think it's Disney's best paced coaster. You have a fun launch at the start, followed by a long layout with some airtime pops and some fairly forceful turns. Then you also have the environment of Space Mountain with some giant video screens to progress the story as well. Lastly, you have onboard audio. I got 4 of the 6 songs, and all the ones I experienced really fit the ride perfectly, enhancing the experience. I have an entire review in this coaster, but it's a really neat experience. So those are the top 10 rides and attractions at Epcot. What are your thoughts on this park's rides and shows? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.